All right, today I've got Niko Pease back in here with me, and this time he's going to ask me some questions.
Yes, sir.
What's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you been?
Been good, been working, you know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What do you got for me?
I wanted to ask you, man. Like, how did you get started with music, and how does that pushed you into mixing?
Oh, man, you're killing me. I was going to make a YouTube video about that. No,
Alright.
no, this is perfect.
Here's a YouTube video.
Here's
No, I'm
the video,
kidding.
guys.
But no,
So I got started into all this stuff really young.
yeah.
I was a musician, just like playing guitar and bass and drums. I was super into it. You know, I started on like GarageBand on a Mac. I remember wanting a Mac computer. I got a cheapie on eBay. It was like $300 or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was playing around with GarageBand, playing around with MIDI, like programming instruments. And just like recreating songs I like, making little covers, just for fun. Like I just liked doing it. And it just eventually obviously blossomed into so much more.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, I think I honestly got started when I was like 10th grade. Like I was probably like 16.
Yeah, yeah.
And I guess which is probably really normal now, but I feel like in 2010 it was less common
To start then?
Yeah, I don't know, to be like super into the music tech and like the studio.
No,
production
nowadays, dude, there's kids starting so young.
Right.
Like, so serious, so young. You know what I mean? It's not like a hobby. There's 14-year-olds going like, it's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
So I'll try and keep this real brief. Basically, I was doing like recordings at my place. Not super serious, but starting to get serious. And I did an EP with my friend's band. It came out super good, in my opinion, at the time, right? Like, I could do way better now, but I was super proud of it back then. And the takes were good, the vibes were good. I just obviously wasn't where I could be.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, like, this band got a new drummer, and they had been to a studio in downtown Syracuse before, and they were like, hey, we're going to do a full-length record there. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, at first I was kind of like, that sucks. Like, I loved working with them, but then at the same time I was like, okay, you're going to a nice studio, that's cool. Can I come?
Right,
Can I come along and check it out? Like, I'm kind of your boy.
Yeah.
Like, we've been, you know what I mean? I'm kind of like your tech guy now. Like, can I just come along?
Be a part of the process,
and be your
yeah.
guy, assistant tech sound guy
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Well, basically, long story short, in that session, there was just a ton of downtime as they were running takes.
Mhm.
Like, because they were cutting full takes of the songs.
Okay.
So they would just be playing the song. And basically, I just made a good connection with the owner there. He was one of the partners at the time. And he was just like, dude, you should do an internship here.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, sure. And from there, I interned, became a freelance engineer. I was a house engineer for a while, and now I'm back to freelancing and focusing on mixing and mastering. But
Definitely, that's cool, yeah.
it's kind of a roundabout, or a long story, I guess I should say. But like, it really comes from a love for music. That's like how I got into it, like being a musician.
Definitely musician first, yeah. Yeah, I can agree. I mean, I was in the school band as a kid, you know what I mean? Just always being around music.
What instrument did you play? I was in the school band too.
Yeah, I mean, for the school, I played saxophone. So about like freshman year. You probably wouldn't expect that. Yeah, I'll tell, bro. Yeah. I won't lie, it was pretty nice. First chair. But no, and then I started, my dad's friend Mike, he does a lot of gigs, drumming and playing keyboards. So he taught me keys and drums. I kind of transferred from sax to keys to drums to like, okay, I like this. Let's try to put it all in here now, you know what I mean? And yeah, that kind of took off. But yeah, that's cool. So you work with a lot of artists, a lot more advanced and a lot probably beginner too. Do you have any advice for artists just starting out, like where their first move should be if they're completely clueless, if that makes sense?
I would tell an artist starting out that they need to find a producer that they click with, like immediately.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's super important because they write and it's their music. We're not denying that. We're not taking that away from them. But until they have someone who can take it where it needs to go, they're just not going to thrive the way they could, I suppose.
Right. No, it goes a long way. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I've seen it in artists I know. They're just kind of coasting along, and then they do connect with a producer, and it's like,
It's
boom,
like, yeah, it's what you've been needing. Yeah.
They found a sound, like a signature sound, and they're really doing their thing.
That's what, yeah.
It makes a big difference.
Definitely. You're on the other end of that. Is there anything specific you do to set the tone for artists? If they're, on a recording perspective, if they're booking you for a tracking session, you know what I mean? It might be a new client, it might be somebody you know, like certain things, you know what I mean? Is there something you do
Yeah,
might
totally.
be specific that you do to set the tone? Yeah.
There's a couple things for sure. Well, I definitely try and have the studio set up and ready to go
100%.
because it's tough when you're first meeting someone. Like you don't want to be like, wait, why isn't that working?
Yeah,
What's
dude.
going on? You know, you want to be like,
Yeah.
you want them to show up and they think like, wow, this guy's really on
It
top.
went
of it.
smooth,
But then
yeah.
also like, I usually try to get like kind of picky about the lighting in the room.
Set the vibe.
Yeah, I try to have it kind of vibey. And every client's going to be different. Some people need more light. Some people Some people don't even want you to look at them when they're in the control room. So there's different levels of experience there.
Dude.
I usually, if I'm in a studio or something, I'll usually wait for them like at the door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I know how confusing it is. Like, and you can't expect them to just like know exactly where
Especially
you are.
at the place, yeah. Especially at the studio downtown. It's kind of like, do I go upstairs? Do I go downstairs? Where do I, you know what I mean? You kind of got to, I know what you mean, by waiting for him at the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, you've been saying you're tapping into a lot more projects, mixing-wise. What's like the most exciting project you've done, if there is one? It might not be off the top of your head, and that's okay.
Sheesh.
Because I know they probably all are. You know what I mean? They're all different in certain ways, but
Yeah, one cool one that I've been working on lately, it's not done yet, is there's this band, the Kiwis, I've been working with.
okay.
It's been pretty cool. We're mixing a full length, so they just keep sending me the stems for each song as they go.
Yeah.
But I've been really digging it. It's like super well produced. It kind of sounds like the Killers or something.
Oh, really?
Like, it's like all
Yeah.
rock.
That's cool.
And
Yeah,
I've really been
that's
digging
fun.
it. I've just been having a lot of fun, like pushing myself and trying new things and getting new sounds. It's been
Definitely.
a blast, honestly. The projects just keep coming out better and better. I'm loving it.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because you're more of a. No, you do. Never mind. You do a lot. I was gonna say you're more like a pop / hip hop guy, but not really. You do a lot more different, like drastic styles.
What I would say, honestly, the way I've kind of narrowed down my niche, because I am kind of weird in that way. I don't have one
Genre.
niche alone. Like, you know,
Yeah.
some guys are like, oh, I do metal.
Yeah.
I do hip hop. You know?
Yeah.
I kind of move around a little more than that. But if I had to narrow it down, it would be singer, songwriter, pop, rock, rap, R&B.
Definitely.
That's
yeah.
kind of about where I sit. Maybe like some funky things, or maybe some like things that branch off of that. Sure,
Right, yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm
but
not
the main-
like the guy doing like mad classical recordings and metal.
Right.
songs.
Got you. Yeah. Got you.
Like, so that's kind of where I fall. For
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. Cool. This can definitely be a biased question. I don't like answering stuff about my strengths, but what do you think would be, if you could say one, your best skill as an engineer, the thing you pride yourself in the most? Like someone works with Steve Brown, they can expect this thing.
Sheesh, I'm kind of a humble guy, man. Like you're asking
Yeah.
me
No.
to-
That's what I mean. I was when I was thinking about that question, I was like, I don't know how I would answer it either. I hate being like, I'm great at this. You know what I mean? But
there
yeah.
are things I'm good at.
Yeah,
I'm
for
definitely
sure.
good with pitch and harmony. Like if you're a singer, I'm gonna call you out on stuff, right? Like you're
Yeah.
singing a note that I'm like, what are you doing? Like, no, don't do that.
Right,
Oh,
make sure it's
here's
good.
some ideas for some harmonies.
Mm-hmm.
I think that comes because I do sing.
Yeah.
I definitely try to have a lot of ideas to keep things interesting
Yeah.
throughout the songs. I guess what I would say is the main strength, I guess, is like I really have no interest in settling. So
Right.
like honestly, whenever I work with anyone, I want it to be as good as it can possibly be.
Yeah, man. I remember a while back, I was interning in one of your sessions, and there was a trumpet player, and you literally pulled out a paper and wrote down like 5 different harmonies for the trumpet to play, so it sounded cooler. And I was like, this man's going above and beyond. That's cool. That's cool though. That's what an artist wants, man. You don't want someone who just sits there and presses record. You know, you want it to be.
Yeah, and I guess I
as
would say in
involved.
terms of like, I guess it depends on who you're talking to. Like, I feel like because I am a producer musician, like I definitely bring that to a session.
Definitely,
so, like,
yeah.
if I'm in a, whether that be in like a vocal session for like hip hop and rap, like I have like no offense to my clients or anyone involved, I probably have way more musical knowledge than them.
Yeah,
Like-
no, yeah.
like,
From where
in
you're
terms
coming
of
from.
theory and like
Right.
the technical aspect of things. So I definitely bring that to that kind of session, but then also with a singer-songwriter, rock, anything like that, I don't know, I'll just have maybe a little more insight. Or try to.
Yeah,
Any
man.
good insight that I can.
Yeah, man, that's always good. Yeah, how do you approach clients when it comes like if you want to recommend a rearrangement in the mix or some changes in their song? How do you approach that without sounding too, like you were saying, like bossy?
So what I do when I'm doing mixing, and I think most generally people want this, but I'll just do it.
Yeah.
And when I send them the mix, I'll let them know.
Right,
'Cause I don't
like-
want to like shock them and make them think, oh, this Steve guy, who does he think he is? Is he the musician? Is he the artist? He's changing
Right, yeah,
everything. Not
yeah.
asking. What I'll usually say is like, hey, I tried out some stuff. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, let me know. Well, no questions.
right back.
I'll just
Yeah,
take it.
exactly, yeah.
I'm not gonna be bossy with them.
Right,
Tell them
right,
This
right.
is what it's got to be like. So, but
No,
I'll
that's
just
cool.
do it, and I think people really like that.
Yeah, they'll be like, holy shit. Yeah, I know, yeah. They don't expect it sometimes, but it's cool, for sure. Is there any one thing that you would say, like, makes a song? Like, one thing you could say to artists that will make their song? I don't know how to, not like a way to sing it, just like you know what I mean? Like a principle, I guess.
If I had to pick one, I would have to say the hook.
Yeah.
Like,
Make that as strong as
if
possible.
you don't, I don't know what you have if you don't have a good hook. It's barely a song. I mean, I get like a freestyle or something
Mhm.
that's totally not what I'm saying, but that is everything. I mean, think of our culture, and like TikTok is a perfect example. Like everything's short.
Yeah, man,
Like,
yeah.
You got to get them hooked with a
It's
chorus.
catchy, yeah.
Yeah.
Hear the radio, people listen back to the hook. You know what I mean? That's the part that people are singing along with and stuff. For sure, for sure.
It's what catches the eye. Like a verse can like catch the eye. That's what catches the ear. But
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
a verse can. It's just it's not the same. As
No,
a
I
chorus.
always think of. I mean, yeah, like you said, always every song is different. The way I've seen it, the verses usually lead into the hook. You know what I mean? The verse will be like the story, and then the hook is like, boom, it's all in your face. Like, this is my song type shit. But
Yeah, I think it depends on what
it
it
definitely
is. Like
depends,
I feel like
'cause there could
the
be-
poppier the music these days, like the hooks come first.
Yeah.
Like I know what you're saying.
Oh,
like
no,
in a
yeah,
rap song
definitely,
or something,
definitely,
like,
yeah.
for sure the verse will like lead you in, but it just varies. But
yeah, definitely. If it's more of a catchy song, then you're gonna hear the hook a few times. It's gonna be like first and last and stuff. Yeah, no, I hear that. All right, man. So yeah, I mean, we can go back to touching on artists. For any artist, because this was me 3 years ago. For any artist that's trying to get more into the production end of things, more into the mixing end of things, like you mentioned, to really click with somebody, really find a nice producer. But there also is these artists who, like Russ, for example. A lot of people look up to Russ because he does everything, and he'll produce his beat, he'll engineer. But like, some people don't know really how to do all that. What would you think is the best way to start out for an artist looking to learn more about production?
I would say start simple
Definitely.
and try and get your hands on something, a simple setup. I've had interns work with me before, and again, apparently I say offensive things, but they're not meant to be offensive. I could make a better record in a closet than my intern could make in a really nice studio.
Yeah, I feel that.
You know, and it really comes down to just knowing what you're doing, and that takes time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Definitely.
just keep going, keep making stuff. Don't get hung up on things, and focus on what matters, right? Like focus on what you can get down and
Right.
get in the software versus on like all the equipment and stuff. Like,
Right, yeah.
I
A lot
love
of people
nice
get
equipment, but
for sure. But when you're starting out, you don't need the nicest equipment. You got to work with what you have. That's why me personally, like, it's helped me a ton. I got really, really, really familiar with stock plugins on all these DAWs. So then when it got time to upgrade, I didn't have to really like relearn them, if that makes sense. You kind of already know that's on a mixing perspective, but like, you know, you get Logic for the first time, and you see all these people using like these high-tech delays and high-tech compressors and stuff. If you get really, really good at the fundamentals, man, like everything else is the same, you know what I mean? It just enhances it. It's,
100%.
you don't need the big bad boy equipment if you know how to do it right on what you can do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would tell them to experiment too. Like,
Definitely. Always be a student. That's what I say. Always be a student of the game.
well, I feel like people don't experiment with microphones a lot. Like, if you get one and you don't like it, like, get another one and then sell your old one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, because
Mics go a long way, yeah.
People think that microphones are like iPhones. They can just buy the newest one. It'll be the best one. That's not true with microphones. They're analog technology,
Right,
and
it works for your voice.
you want to pick one that sounds good for your voice.
Definitely.
So there's a lot to it, but you can do it simply and effectively.
No, for sure. You just got to find what works. Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. All right, man. So, yeah, this would probably be my last question to wrap up the day. But you already know there's mad stages to this thing. There's the production side of it, recording, mixing, mastering. And they all kind of work together in a sense. What would you say would be the most important part of that and why, if there is one to you?
Yeah, so this is going to sound weird coming from a guy who specializes in like post-production, doing mixing and mastering, but I honestly think the most important stages are the earliest stages. You know, so like, well, think about it. No one wants to listen to a bad song that sounds good. They want to listen to. They would rather listen to a good song that sounds bad. Honestly, like ideally, it's a good song that sounds great, but you know, you need to nail the production phase, whether that be the music production, the recording, the writing, like that part of it. You got to nail it.
Definitely.
Because if you don't nail that, then you have nothing.
No, definitely. I always think about it that way too. Like, a good recording leads to a good mix, which leads to a good master. You know what I mean? Like, you got start there. You don't because some people will really count on mixing. They'll really count on, okay, well, I didn't record that too good, but you know he can clean that up.
You can do a lot of mixing.
You can, but I see it sometimes as like, would I want to spend the time fixing what you did wrong, mixing wise, or enhancing what you did good, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like,
I've heard it told that you can only go up by one letter grade. So like mastering can take a B mix to an A track.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mixing can take a C to a B, but you're not going to take a C to an A.
That makes a lot of sense. Thinking about it that way, for sure.
Yeah, so like if you have an A track, it's going to be an A mix and an A plus master.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Yeah, man, that's a good way to think about it, for sure.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming down, man. It was great talking.
No, for sure, bro.
We'll
glad I got to ask you, though.
Yeah. Some more stuff.
No, for sure, bro, for sure. It's good to have you. But all right, man.
That's that.
We're good.